Welcome to the United Cast. It's Entertainment Talks podcast for Man United and football. I'm your host Matthew, and today I'm going to be talking about Manchester United's 6-1 defeat at home to Tottenham Hotspur, and then talk about the transfers as deadline day is now closed, talk about the ins and outs of Manchester United in terms of transfers, who's left, who's joined, because there are a few different names, so we'll talk about that later. Shambolic, embarrassing, disgraceful, not there mentally, just thinking of a few different words to describe Sunday's performance. And look, I don't sound very angry right now, but it's been a couple of days. I was obviously really annoyed at the time as each goal was going in and as our performance started to drop, and because it's strange, isn't it? 40 seconds into the game, we get a penalty. Bruno scores 1-0. Brilliant. 1-0 up within the first, minute and a half or so. I don't know how long the penalty took to get taken, but 40 seconds in we got a penalty. We earned it again. I'm getting really sick and tired of this Penchester United or Penandes. Stop fouling us in the box. That's how you give us penalties. It's because you either handball it by putting your hand above your head, like that player did for Brighton, or you foul us in the box. Just get better at tackling, I suppose, is my simple response to that. But we all know the rules, although some players don't apparently. We'll talk about Eric Lamela in a minute, and the Anthony Martial situation. Actually, I'll just talk about it now. Disgraceful that Eric Lamela wasn't sent off. I think Martial should have been sent off. I think they both should have been. Look, Lamela hits him first. Martial reacts badly, hits Lamela as well. They both hit each other, but Lamela hit him first. And regardless, if Martial hits Lamela first and Lamela hits him back, they still should both be sent off because they've both hit each other at the end of the day. The play continues. They get given a free kick, they score and whatever. Just an absolute joke. Really was. The fact that they did, they showed the highlights back on. They didn't go to VAR, but they showed the highlight of the incident back a few times, and no one said to the fourth official or the referee about like, oh look, you might want to come have a look at this because Lamela hit him as well. Nope. No, someone might have said that, and we might not have seen that, but the referee still didn't go to VAR, still didn't go to his monitor on the side, and it wouldn't have even taken that long to notice. It's not like when you're looking at these really fine offsides or like, oh, was it a handball? No, it's pretty clear that they both hit each other, so it's not as, someone could have even said to the ref, look, you don't need to even go to VAR because it's just right here it's in the replay. You don't even need VAR for that. But no, wasn't checked. Martial is sent off. Look, it's a bad reaction from him. He should have been sent off, but as I've just said, they both should have. And then the things just went downhill from there. They scored goal after goal. I don't have thoughts on individual goals necessarily. But the biggest mistake, the first one, I don't know what Maguire's doing with that header. He pulls Shaw down. I don't know if some of you noticed, but he heads the ball. I'm trying to remember what happened. He heads the ball. Bailey headed the ball to Maguire. Now, Maguire is the £18 million captain who's supposed to be our best headerer. But the player on our team is supposed to be the best at heading, is what I'm trying to say. And he does that. He scored one goal from a header last season. He very rarely clears the ball from a corner. He's supposed to be he's a big guy and all that. He's a big tall kind of guy. He's got the slabhead as his nickname has come up. He should be jumping up for that, clearing that ball away, or at least heading it to another Manchester United player to clear. Not head it to Lamela so that he can. I think he passed it to Kane afterwards, didn't he? He sort of turned around or whatever. I think he passed it to Kane. Ndombele, sorry, because that was the 4-minute goal. There was another one later, wasn't there? I think Son passed it to Kane and he scored. I think that was the third goal. Dembele, Son, and then Son again. Harry Kane. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. But yeah, Maguire heads the ball. He scrambles, and you can see the panic immediately on him. Not even just his face, but his body language. He starts pulling at Luke Shaw's shirt. He pulls Luke Shaw down. Luke Shaw could have cleared the ball. and it was just such a mess. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I know this sounds kind of harsh. Maguire's only been here a year. I think he's got I don't know about him being sold. That's a possibility as well, but he's got to be dropped and stripped of his captaincy after that. And I mean, I saw from some photos as well. Like, this isn't all on Maguire, but I'm pointing out his big mistake in this game, and probably the worst mistake of the game. Like this was all of the whole defense's fault. This was everyone's fault, really. The only three players I'm going to point out that even did something were Rashford, Fernandes and Greenwood. Matic did some good bits here and there, but he wasn't too involved. Pogba was dreadful again. All of the defence was terrible. David De Gea, I don't really even blame him for that many of the goals. Maybe one or two of them that he could have got, like when Son was clean through on goal, maybe he could have saved that. But talk about your defence letting you down. I mean, yeah, what can you do at the end of the day? He can only do so much as one guy. He's got these four players in front of him that are supposed to defend. And what are we doing as well, where there was a situation, I think it was when someone scored a goal at the near post and nutmegged the goalkeeper and Harry Maguire. I think it was Son's goal. See, there's so many goals, I can't remember who scored them particularly. You've got Shaw, who for some reason switched to centre back. You've got Maguire then suddenly switched to left back. Why is that happening? Does Shaw decide that, like, okay, I'm going to try and do Maguire's job better than him and just leave his own post? I mean, look, I like all these defenders apart from Maguire at the moment. I like Bailey, I like Wan-Bissaka, I like Luke Shaw, but they're all at fault for all of the goals. And then I'm sure the same thing happened with Wan-Bissaka. He decided to take Bailey's place, and then Bailey decided to go to right back. It's just like they all decided to just switch positions. It was really strange and really just bad to watch as well. So yeah, good penalty, I guess, from Fernandes. There's really not too much to say in terms of our goal. I've already talked about the red card. It's pretty simple. Should have gone to VAR, or not even VAR. Just watch the replay. Just watch the replay of the incident, and the ref would have clearly seen what happened. So I don't know. There was also an incident before that where Martial was fouled, not on the edge of their box, but near to their box on sort of the left side. Just played straight on. There was no VAR, no look at a replay or anything. The delicate times when I've seen VAR looked at in this game is really surprising when you get kind of like a clear, Martial gets hit, nothing there. Martial gets fouled, nothing there. Is really surprising sometimes. Like, I've seen some of the goals that Liverpool have been given offside for. Like, I think there was the Firmino one last season where it was millimetres, if that. And they take that to VAR. I don't know. There's some wrong things going on with how VAR is used, or even just replays. Just looking at basic replays for stuff. Yeah. So, but I don't really have too much else to say about the performance necessarily. Just to do player ratings really quickly, because I'm not going to get into them individually. De Gea, I'd give him a 5. I don't really think he did anything wrong. He couldn't have really stopped that many of the goals. Maybe he could have stopped a few of them, but I'm not going to put too much of the blame on him. I don't really think so. All of the defense gets a 0 because they were all awful. Matic gets a 4. Pogba gets a 1 because he was terrible. Greenwood gets a 6. Fernandes gets a 7 because he scored and played alright. Rashford gets a 6, and Martial gets, I guess you've got to give him a 0 really. He got sent off, so I don't know. That's just my rough kind of throwing it out there player ratings, because they're all really poor, apart from one or two names particularly. But yeah, it's difficult sometimes when you come onto the podcast and your team has lost not just 6-1 away. 6-1 away wouldn't be any more of an excuse, but 6-1 at home just sort of hurts that little bit more. So Old Trafford, like, we should be doing better than that. So anyway, let's take a quick break. I thought I was going to spend more time on that, but it's just, I don't need to, I don't think. Let's take a quick break here actually, and then we'll go into some housekeeping, and then we'll talk about the players that are joining and leaving Manchester United. Some on loan, some not, but we'll get into that in a second. See you for that in a minute.
Hey there, I'm Aaron Holman, host of Eye to Eye, a weekly podcast talk show all about passion.
I have this passion and this fire within me that burns brighter than the fire around me.
Flow.
With performing, there's always a story to tell, whether it's my own or not.
And creativity.
I go, he's more than cute, he's creative.
All with an LGBT twist. Make sure to check out Eye to Eye, that's EYE, number 2, letter I. And rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in today.
I'm Christy.
And I'm Jackie.
And we are Killer Fun. We explore the intersection of crime and entertainment every other week.
For as long as people have been communicating, they have been talking about who did what to whom, and is that socially acceptable?
Because the boundaries of society,
crime,
and entertainment have always gone hand in hand.
The more salacious,
or weird,
the better. From books and movies
to television shows and games,
we look at how life and art imitate and inform one another.
And we can't get together and not laugh. So let's face it, there's going to be laughing.
Killer Fun is available anywhere you listen to podcasts, so join us.
If you'd like to get started with a domain name and a website today, just click on the link in the show notes and that will take you over to Koalu to get started. They also have a live support chat system that you can use, which is in the bottom right hand corner. So get started with a new website and domain name today with Koalu. Hey everybody, if you would like to get the ad-free versions of all of our podcasts and support Entertainment Talk along the way, all you need to do is head over to patreon.com/entertainment talk. Sign up either as a creator or as a Patreon. There's no difference there. That's just the option for either becoming a creator now or just staying as a patron for the moment. And then all you need to do is support us at the $1 level tier. That will get you access to all of the ad-free podcasts that we've done in the past, and get you access to all the ad-free podcasts in that month as well. So it's a great way to support us on Entertainment Talk and to get rid of the ads and get your ad-free podcasts. You can also become a patron at the $3 level tier. That gets you access to ad-free podcasts and allows you to redeem a review of a TV show or a film of entirely your choice. That's one per month for either a TV show or a film review, which is at the $3 level tier. As always, thank you very much for listening. Back to the show. Alright, so recently on Entertainment Talk, what have we got here? We've got another Let's Play Sundays episode, number 55 for Crash Bandicoot 4. This is the third and last of the demo levels. I have actually started recording some Let's Play Sundays for the actual main Crash Bandicoot 4 game, which I am playing, but this particular third demo level is to do with Cortex and how he sort of fits into the game and that sort of stuff, so that was pretty fun. Diabolical 7 for the boys on Amazon Prime had its penultimate episode for Season 2, Episode 7. We will be covering the season finale, which will be Season 2, Episode 8, but that will be on Saturday instead of early Friday morning. So still look out for that, but look out for it on Saturday, late-ish afternoon on Saturday. I'm going to be including Robert on the podcast. That's why it's going to be slightly later. So yeah, there's that as well. But yeah, that's at the moment for the boys. Becoming Heisenberg for Breaking Bad Season 1 Episode 4. We're up to that point in the first season, and there'll be a new episode tomorrow for Wednesday. Season 1 Episode 5 will be tomorrow's episode, and then look out continuously on Wednesdays for more Breaking Bad episodes. And also returning this week, we've got The Walking Dead season finale episode and The Walking Dead World Beyond pilot. Look out for both of those as well on Wednesdays, and also this week's Gaming Talk episode. So lots of content tomorrow on Entertainment Talk, but yeah, there's also then going to be Fear the Walking Dead is going to be replacing The Walking Dead because it only had a season finale episode. So look out for all the Walking Dead content on Wednesdays, so check that out as well. Don't skip, me and Robert did a season 1 review for Stargirl, which is on DC Universe, HBO Max, or the CW in the US, and it's available as a whole box set for season 1 on Amazon Prime in the UK, so you can check that out. That's season 1 of Stargirl. Gaming Talk this week, we talked about Call of Duty Modern Warfare Season 6, Xbox Series X and S pre-orders, as well as the PS5 ones. Talked about Amazon's Luna game streaming service that's coming out soon as well. We don't have a date for that yet, they just announced it this week, so there's that. Did another episode of Analyzing Television, the second one of that, talking about the upcoming TV crash. If you're wondering what that is, what that means, and what it means for you as a as a person who watches television, check out that episode as well. That's Analysing Television episode 2, the upcoming TV crash. Talked about the 3-2 Brighton win. The first episode of Analysing Television is talking about US TV shows that don't have UK homes, and also talking about US TV networks and streaming services that it would be helpful to have deals for in the UK to avoid delays to shows and other sorts of things. So yeah, I bring up a few examples of specific shows where this is a particular example, and certain networks and streaming services. So there's that as well. And yeah, that's everything we've been doing on entertainmenttalk.org and on podcast platforms. Let's get straight into our signings. So I'm just going to go through them, read them all out, and then I'll go through them individually. So players in for Manchester United: Donny van der Beek, of course, from Ajax for 40 million. He's already started, already played a few games, and actually scored on his debut as well, which was very, very good. Alex Telles finally arrived from Porto for 15 million. He's, of course, the left back who's going to be back up for Luke Shaw, I suppose, which is interesting to see what they're going to do with Brandon Williams as well, but he's the new left back. I've heard he's quite an attacking left back, so we'll see how that sort of plays out. And, you know, you have 38 games plus all the other competitions as well for the season, so you need squad depth, and we definitely did. So yeah, that's Alex Telles at the moment. And then someone who excuse me, was originally given the wrong name in reports. His name was being called Adam Traore, not to be confused with Adama Traore, the Wolves player, but his name is Amad Diallo. I don't know how his name got misreported, because it was reported that we did sign Adam Traore, and then it was Amad Diallo. I don't know how you mixed that up, but yeah, that's what happened. But he's arrived from Atlanta. He won't actually be arriving until January 2021 when the transfer window opens. I don't know why. I didn't see a reason as to why. It's probably some sort of contract thing, or maybe because we got him really late on deadline day. I don't specifically know, but he's an 18-year-old Brazilian winger that is going to be playing on the right wing, which is something that we really, really need. He signed for 37 million as well, so that's good. And then Edison Cavani, of course, the Uruguayan striker, who was a free agent. He, of course, played for PSG previously, but I think he was released because we got him for free. I think that's a really good signing, actually. A lot of people saying like, oh, he's, you know, dead on his feet and he's really old. Here's my point on Edison Cavani. He is your predator striker in the box. He's going to do what Anthony Martial doesn't do. Now, Anthony Martial, you know, great striker, scored, 22 goals or something last season. Really good. Anthony Martial's more of a... he's more of a technical striker, isn't he? He likes to do some... He likes to sort of leave his box a little bit more, but do a bit more of the sort of false nine Firmino type role sometimes. He likes to sort of leave the box, link up with Rashford or Greenwood or Fernandes a little bit more. Cavani is a player that if I was managing him myself, I would say to him, I never want you to leave the edge of the box, and to just... Because Cavani's 33, or I think he's 34, something around that. He signed for 1 year with an option of a second year. Cavani's not going to be someone who's running around, slide tackling, you know, chasing people down. He's not. This is very much a Ruud van Nistelrooy, Berbatov type of striker, as opposed to like a Rooney or a Firmino or a Martial. Those players that sort of track back a little bit and do that sort of stuff. Cavani is going to be our in the box kind of predator striker. And what interests me most about this is there's been a lot of times over the last season and this portion of the season as well, where Fernandes or Greenwood or Rashford or Shaw or Wan-Bissaka, whoever's out wide, will cross the ball in, and Martial's is never there for those types of cross. Cavani's the type of striker that will be there for those sorts of crosses, because he'll be looking to get on the end of them and score those poacher goals that Martial he gets them now and again, but he doesn't get them the way that Cavani will. And I'm really, really looking forward to that as well, in terms of, you know, he's a fairly tall player. He's good in the air from what I kind of know about him. So maybe he'll probably score more goals from corners than what Maguire does easily. He'll probably clear the ball better from corners, even though he shouldn't be defending from our box there as well. Like he can run around a bit, that sort of stuff. But you're not going to be seeing Cavani chasing people down and like tracking back and that sort of thing. He's going to be the predator in the box, and I think we could really, really use that as well. So yeah, he's obviously the Igalo replacement. Igalo's going to be leaving us at I think it's the end of January when the January transfer window closes. But very, very good. I'm quite happy about that. We didn't spend a transfer fee on him. Another good thing is as well, he's on 200k, which is a lot of money. But this isn't a Sanchez situation where you're paying him 400k a week and he's tied down to a 4 or 5 year contract. If Cavani stays here for 1 year and it doesn't work out and we've paid him a lot of money, we can just let him go after the first year. The second year is the optional year. And even if he stays for the second year and let's say he's done all right, good enough to kind of keep his place or whatever. If he gets into his second year and doesn't quite perform, he gets a bit older, maybe he does get a little bit too slow, we can let him go after that. He's not tied down for a 4 or 5 year contract like Sanchez was. I don't remember if it was 4 or 5 years, but yeah, this isn't that same situation. It isn't. Plus, he's on half the wages that Sanchez was, so it's not as much money. Not that I really care how much money comes out of the Glazers' pockets, because it needs to be a lot more. But yeah, I'm not the one paying Cavani money, so it doesn't particularly matter to me. But it's not like 4 or 5 or 600,000 a week. It's only 200k, which is still a lot. But I think we've got a good deal here, actually, to be really honest, which is what I'm here to do anyway. And then somebody else who we've brought, I think for the academy or something like that, someone called Facundo Palestri, signed from Club Atletico or Athletic Club. Doesn't have a transfer fee listed here. He's not going to be going to the first team, I don't think. But again, another good potential young signing. So those are the ins for Manchester United. We've done some alright stuff there. We got Diallo, who's come in. We got Tellez at left back, we kind of needed. Van der Beek, who's already kind of settled in. Needs a bit more game time, but has settled in. And Cavani, our new predator in the box, if you will. The one who's going to be getting the poacher goals. No Dembele, no Sancho, which is a big disappointment. I mean, it's really disappointing if you look at the Sancho situation, because everything was agreed apart from that big 120 million euro, 108 million pounds transfer fee. Man United just didn't want to pay it. Dortmund didn't want to budge. I don't blame Dortmund, to be honest. They've got a generational talent on their hands with Sancho, someone who's young, hungry, already really good. He's only 20 years old. I don't blame them for not budging. And he'll stay at Dortmund for another year or two. I think he's got 2 years left on his contract, but everybody's going to be in from next season. We won't get him now. I don't think Jadon Sancho will ever play for Manchester United now. And one of the reasons is because when he gets down to his last year on his contract, all the big teams are going to be back in for him, and we're going to be too slow. We're not going to be willing to pay the money, and others will be. So, yeah. Alright, so those are the ingoings for Manchester United. Probably a pretty terrible window still, because we still needed defenders. We didn't go out and get Sancho, but I do think we've strengthened in a few particular areas. We got this, upcoming young winger. We got Cavani, who I'm the most intrigued by. I mean, it's great to have defenders, but defenders aren't really exciting, are they? But Alex Tellez could be really, really good. We'll have to wait and see. And Palestri, I don't know anything about him, to be honest, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I mean, it's 3, 4, 5 players, it's more than we actually did get last summer, which is kind of weird when you think about it. So, but yeah, those are the ingoings from Manchester United. I could sit here for 20 minutes telling you how much of the disgrace the Glazers are, and they should have spent more money and this and that, but I'm not going to waste your time or my breath on that, because we already know that that's the situation. So that would just be a bit of a waste of energy, a bit of a waste of time, I think. So let's move on to the outgoings. Chris Smalling, I'm really disappointed that Chris Smalling's gone, given the form of Lindelof and Maguire as of late, and we're kind of looking to rebuild that centre back pairing, aren't we? Eric Bailey looks really good. He did make some mistakes on Sunday, but let's be honest, who didn't? I'd like to see Bailey partnered up with Twanzebe if and when Twanzebe comes back from injury. I think Phil Jones is done. Just forget that Phil Jones plays for Manchester United. Just pretend that he doesn't, because no one wants him. And it's no personal disrespect to him necessarily, just to his footballing ability, which we all know he doesn't really have. He's injury prone all the time. He's been injured the whole season already, I think. So yeah, there you go. So, but Chris Smalling, I'm trying to think of what did Chris Smalling actually do wrong to warrant being sold. Sure, the manager at Roma really liked him. He had a really good season last season at Roma, but I don't know why we've let him go. I think we should have given him another chance. I think he's possibly could be our best centre back, to be perfectly honest. So he's gone for 18 million, which I think is a little bit cheap. He is around 30 or so though, isn't he? So yeah, there we go. Tahith Chong has gone on loan. I think I've talked about that before, to Werner Bremen. I know I've said that wrong, but those of you will know who that is. He's gone on loan. I think that's really, really good. I think we talked about that before. Angel Gomez has gone as well. He left on a free. He's gone to Lille, by the way, for those of you that don't know, because I didn't have a clue where he'd gone to, because he'd left for free at the end of last season. He was a free agent, just like Cavani is as well. If you want to look up his goal, look up the Lille highlights. Scored a goal from near enough the halfway line. We've missed out on a talent there. We've let just a massive talent go, and even those two little appearances last season that he made, I thought that there was just something there about him. There was a little spark there, and he was young. We should have given him a lot more game time, and we didn't, and we've missed out, and it's massively disappointing. He could have been a good backup for Bruno, because I mean, he's going to be a different type of player from Bruno, but that attacking just sort of mindset, I think he's got that. So just a massive disappointment. I'm really, really annoyed with that. Alexis Sanchez, we already talked about that. Inter Milan for free, he can go. A couple of other players, Joel Pereira, who never played, Huddersfield on loan. Dylan Levitz, Charlton on loan. Kieran O'Hara, Burton, end of contract, so he's gone for free. Not that he ever really played. Diego Dalot has gone to AC Milan on loan for free. For those of you that don't realise, Diego Dalot is only actually about 21 or 22, so he's another young kind of talent as well. Just didn't get a lot of game time, and I think that's a good decision to loan him out. So overall, some big disappointments. Smalling and Gomez are my two biggest ones. We knew Sanchez had to go. It was never going to work out for him. And again, not that I care that the Glazers were losing money, but just to get him off the wage bill. I think was a good idea for just for the health of the club overall, which again isn't very healthy at the moment. So I don't care if how much money the Glazers are really spending, and I'm sorry, but the people that were making the excuse of Manchester United can't afford Sancho and this and that, nonsense. I will never ever take the excuse that COVID has affected Manchester United. It might have affected Manchester United. The Glazers have gotten so much money from us. You're talking 2 or 3 billion. I will never ever take that as an excuse that Man United couldn't afford Sancho or anybody. I'm not ever going to accept that that's the case. I was getting really fed up not really fed up. I was getting kind of annoyed over the 2 or 3 days towards the end of the transfer window. Man United can't afford Sancho because of COVID or because we're one of the richest clubs in the world at the moment. Not as rich as I think PSG, Man City type of levels, or Chelsea like oil money type levels, but we're still very, very rich, and I'm not gonna accept that as an excuse for why Sancho didn't join us, or any other player for that matter. So yeah, that's just even next year when they come around and they say, fans haven't been in the ground for a year. No, you've got a couple of billion that you've earned from this club. And I'm just not going to accept that as an excuse. And it just, I'm not saying people are defending the Glazers, but don't give them excuses. They're already looking for any excuse that they can not to spend money, not to bring more players in. And yes, I know that we've signed 5 players, and that's a lot, but we probably could have done with 2 new centre backs, a centre defensive midfielder. We did get a striker in, and Sancho would have been really good as well. So yeah, but I've said my piece, so there we go. But if you would like to send in your thoughts, feelings, questions, comments, concerns about Manchester United or anything related to Entertainment Talk, Matthew at entertainmenttalk.org, Twitter eTalkUK, there's contact page and information in your show notes as well, so check all that out. Yeah, just said how to send in feedback, haven't I? Yeah, so you can send all that in if you have any thoughts, feelings, questions, comments, concerns about any of that. If you want to check out the rest of our content, it is on entertainmenttalk.org. If you want to support the podcast and support Entertainment Talk, we are on Patreon. You can have a look at the $1 and $3 level tiers for instant ad-free podcast and review options. Amazon affiliate link. If you're buying stuff on Amazon, we can get a small cut of what you spend. It won't cost you extra. iTunes feeds. Please search for Entertainment Talk on iTunes feeds and podcast services to get subscribed to our podcast as well. You can also find David through Geektown on iTunes. That's for your up-to-date, reliable TV and film news. If you search for Geektown on iTunes podcast services, or you can head over to geektown.co.uk for all that. Geektown Radio on Tuesdays. If you want to check out all the cool stuff that Bex is doing at the moment, you can check her out on Twitch. That's Trista Bytes, Trista Bytes. Go and search for that, follow her, subscribe to her over there. So that's some good stuff. Word of mouth, you can tell people that you know about the content, website, iTunes feed, and Geektown and Trista Bytes as well, so do that if you can. And look out for Let's Play Sundays. Football will be back soon. I think we got Newcastle next, but we got the international break. So I'll see you for all that very soon. Take care and goodbye.